I want to talk about Money Mace, Mason Mount, who it's such a strange one because I feel this deal should be wrapped up by now. I feel, and I know you posted it on our socials when he sort of done his sort of final lap of honour at Stamford Bridge and then came back out after the fans had left. He kind of came back out for one last sort of walk around. The stress ball's out again, everyone. Anyone listening on the audio, I've mentioned Kante, the stress ball. Now I'm doing Mason Mount is back again. Mason Mount obviously going to Manchester United. Looks like it's 50%. I think he wants to move. The club want the move. Chelsea potentially would not be, stand in the way of the move. I just think the valuation of what Chelsea want is far away from what United want. It's split the fan base as always. Some of the fans are saying that he's not proper Chelsea, whatever that means. I don't understand what proper Chelsea is, but what's your thoughts? I mean, he's someone that we've spoken about a lot on here already, but what's your thoughts on him going to Manchester United, which for me it's a bit of a no-no, but what's your thoughts?
Yeah, dagger in the heart, really. Massive dagger in the heart. It's kind of shades of that Juan Mata move to United back in 2014. Obviously, different circumstances. Mata frozen out the team. I know Mourinho wanted kind of a fresh start elsewhere. Mount still kind of a bit unknown for the reason why he wants to move away. Last season, obviously, he struggled with fitness. He wasn't kind of performing to the level, but he's got a fresh manager now. The fans adore him. Chelsea's his boyhood club. We made him tons of different contract proposals, according to the rumors. It feels like maybe he does just want to move away and he's not really committed to Chelsea. Obviously, we don't know what happens behind the scenes or what has happened behind the scenes. But one that, for me, needs to kind of conclude soon, because the last thing you want is a player in pre-season with 1 year left on his contract who might run down his contract and then we risk losing him for a free next year. I mean, ideal situation would be he stays for that 1 year, kind of cements himself back into the team as a starter, world-class player, and Pochettino gets him to extend. But that's a dream situation, and realistically, I don't think that's going to happen, especially with what Bowley said last summer of not wanting players to stay that are going to leave for free next summer. For me, the valuation makes sense. You've got an English talent going to a rival club, even if it's just 1 year left on his contract. I think 60 million makes sense. It should even be maybe close to 70, 75. You look at when Hazard went to Real Madrid, I think he had 1 year left on his deal. That was 100 million, I think. So you add in that kind of English tax to it, or whatever you call it, to a rival team. 70 million makes sense. And then what I'm not really appreciating as well is I'm hearing Manchester United are offering him 200,000 a week. I think that's what we also offered him, or closer to that. So it seems like maybe he just wants to go to Manchester United. He wants to play in the Champions League again. He doesn't believe in the Chelsea project or vision. And if that's the case, then let him go. The last thing you want is a player that's not kind of there or with it and not committed to the club, not wanting to represent the badge. And like I said, it's a dagger to the heart, because you look at those pictures of Mount, James, Abraham, when they won the Champions League in 2021, it just felt like this is what we've been waiting for as Chelsea fans. Cobham boys with the medals around their necks. But yeah, I think sometimes it's just best to move on and let these things happen. And I want to say wish him the best, but can you really wish him the best at United? Probably not.
I mean, something's clearly happened behind the scenes. For someone who's so connected to the club from youth level all the way to the first team, he's been at the club for his whole life. It's the duration of his footballing career. To then suddenly just not want to even engage, in a discussion anymore about a potential contract with the club that he claims to love. Something has happened at the club for that breakdown in communication, in my opinion. I mean, no one is bigger than the club, and players will come and go. I think it's a shame, because I think he could have gone on to be, the legend, a legend of the club. And I think he would be one of those players that could say, look, I've played for Chelsea throughout my life, the Mark Noble of Chelsea, one of those players that just is Chelsea through and through. I think he had that, and I think he still has that opportunity. I think, like you said, 200 grand is I think we offered him more than 200 grand. I think what I initially read a couple of months ago was that he didn't want an 8-year deal, which is what Todd Bowley and the Chelsea board were trying to offer to him. We then reduced that down to 5 years. So the same deal that United are offering Mason Mount, we've offered to him, and that's the last offer. So if you're not willing to sign the deal that another club is giving you, that tells me that you have no intention. Something has happened at the club, so it is a shame. I think his agent came out yesterday and said that he's basically there's no chance of him signing a
Yeah.
deal at Chelsea, and there's 85% chance of him signing for Manchester United. So according to Chelsea, the deal's got to be done by next Friday. Otherwise, it's not happening.
I
So
think his fitness instructor posted an Instagram post with can't wait to see him doing well at Manchester United next season.
I,
And
I did see that, but is it
yeah,
real? Because then I've seen two versions of it. Yeah, I
maybe,
did.
maybe. But even
No,
those,
you might be right.
yeah, even those
Yeah,
F1 interviews he did alongside Chilwell in Barcelona when he was at the Formula One,
yeah.
they just didn't really reassure any Chelsea fans, did they? When he said he's not
No.
sure, and even I'm thinking back to that banner we the Matthew Harding put
Yeah.
for him with the boy who had a dream with him of the Champions League trophy. It's all kind of a bit of a shame. It felt like this one was
Mm.
a player, like you said, the next Mark Noble or next John Terry, the player who'd play into his late 30s at Chelsea. So yeah, a real shame. But players come and go, like you said at the start. So sometimes we just got to accept these things.